So guys, are y'all sick and tired of trying to get old games to run on modern computers? Are you also sick and tired of always trying to find ways to get it running without trying to do too much work, or the fact that these services can't do anything about it, like Steam for example? Well, I do got some good news for you guys, is that GOG, known as Good Old Games, owned by CD Projekt, has launched a thing since November of 2024 known as the Preservation Program. So what is it, you guys are wondering? Well, think of this as like how it's similar to whole Xbox backwards compatibility stuff, but this one's a bit different. This one allows you to play games on modern computers, old, new, whatever. It can have better screen resolutions, controller support, and several other things like bugs and glitches and technical fixes. And probably sometimes added in some content that it was supposed to be in the game and they never even did. For example, I'll give you some of the games that were brought out to the compatibility program. They had some of the Lego games. They also had Fallout 1 and 2, along with Fear, and also Silent Hill 4. Yes, you heard that right. They added Silent Hill 4 to the whole program. With Silent Hill 4, they added in the ability to have it matching the whole aesthetics to the PS2 version, the brightness, and the missing content that somehow was never on the PC version. So why am I talking about this? This can actually be a great way for you guys to play older games if you ever wanted to. It's a monthly thing, so usually around 20 games are going to be added in. But if you guys really want to, you can also go to the Dream List on their website and vote for whatever games you want to be on their website in order to, preserve and everything. So one of the big examples that when Warcraft 1 and 2 was also on GOG at the time, Blizzard also decided to make their half-baked remaster of both games, and nobody liked it, and they removed the two games that were on there. They were also part of the GOG preservation program, along with Diablo 1, and Diablo 1 is still up there as of right now, which also comes with the expansion pack. Who knows if they'll follow suit, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, people were not happy of the removal of Warcraft 1 and 2, and there was a huge sale that was going on. In this game, Warcraft 1 and 2 became the #1 selling duel that ended up being on the whole aesthetics. And it's still supported, you can't play on here, and that's a good thing, which also comes with expansion packs. But look, if you really don't want to play the remaster versions, the second game is available on PS1 and Saturn, but that's going to be a handful to get into. Some of these games on GOG can be played on Windows, Mac, and Linux of all things too, and sometimes some games on here can come with fan-made patches like Vampire Masquerade, Bloodlines 1, and also Gothic 3 Enhanced version. I also noticed that a lot of you guys really hate DRM, but I can rest assure you, GOG does not have DRM. They are 100% DRM-free, and you can preserve your game as any time you want without the game being removed from your library at any random reason being. And I think when PlayStation removed Concord, that really gives you the message, along with some TV shows. Yeah, and y'all say digital, you own stuff. But in terms of GOG, they're going to make sure you preserve everything. Even if it is digital, you still can keep your games. They actually say this. Storefronts like Steam and everywhere else will say that you don't own the games, you're just buying a license thing. But GOG is going to make sure you keep your games forever. But you will need a GOG account if you really want to play it. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if it's a browser or you download the GOG Galaxy app, which is essentially the same kind of thing. It's like a launcher, but you don't need to be online in order to play some of your games, and I say that's a good thing. But if you really want to play in the cloud save, you will need to be online, but that's about it. I think that's the only online aesthetics that you might have to go across, but everything else is all here and done with. It has a buttload of classic games you can play on here. I know that Steam has some classics, but there are classic games you can't even find on Steam or any other storefront, and GOG is the perfect place to find some older games. Doesn't matter if it's DOS or any of the earlier PC games that came out in the 90s and early 2000s that you probably can't find on Steam anyway. If for whatever reason being your game is no longer listed on stores that you bought, you don't have to worry because the company will continue to basically update them to this very day and support them for future operating systems. It doesn't even matter which platform either. And that's like another thing too. When it came to DRM, is that when they add Denfo into the game's frame rate is not exactly the same as if you were playing it like some years ago. It actually dips the frame rate for some reason, and that's sad. I even heard they had a Discord, and a lot of people really went at them, and I think the Discord closed after that. So once we all keep like asking for whatever games that we all desire, like maybe Messiah because it was basically a technical nightmare for you to get it running. I really want to play this game, but I can't because I'm having technical problems, despite the fact that it says you can play on Windows 11, but I'm just hoping they'll make it fully playable. I think sometimes they'll also optimize the controls to make it much more of a welcome addition to some of the games. But like I said, you can use a controller, but it really depends on what games support it. And Silent Hill 4 is one of those that have the controller support. It doesn't matter if you use a PlayStation or Xbox controller, you're still going to be using it to this very day, which is good. So any controller should be able to make it work. So let's just hope that more and more games will come out in the near future when it comes to preservation program. So let's hope some of the most requested games that'll come out will succeed. It doesn't have to be just already on GOG or probably not on GOG. It could be a mixture of both. So yeah, if there was any games that had technical problems, I think you should let your voice be heard. So that way the company themselves can pretty much get this whole situation all fixed up. And to make sure that you all will have a great time playing the games instead of having a terrible time, well, setting up the games. And then try to get it to 100% work and then it doesn't want to work. And this is kind of weird and sad at the same time because even when I did use the forced compatibility stuff in the Windows, I still can never get Messiah to work. So yeah, that was like one of the games I've struggled to get running. I could not play the game, despite the fact that the game it looks interesting and promising. So hopefully one day they'll bring that to the program, and I'm hoping that they'll bring in more other games that people may actually be interested in too. So there's a fair list there, like Resident Evil trilogy, the Dino Crisis games, you name it. There's big names, some non-big names, but it's a mixture, and that's the point. They're bringing in these games just to get you to get playing. So go to the dream list and make your voice heard if you want to see more games that you would love to request. It could actually happen.